Okay, there we go. So I have an interview that I'm doing tonight with Caleb, and he's a salesman. That is not what initially attracted me to his page. What attracted me to his page was how he was using these teachings, these methods, and applying them to his real life, and how every day his life seemed to be getting better and better, and he was gaining a lot of followers while doing this. So, before I fucking talk and give you guys some misinformation, why don't I just get dude in here? Because we've been trying to arrange this for, I don't know, about 2 weeks now. And I'm smoking a cigarette, and then I'm going to go in. Now, here it is. I can't let you in. You have to request. I have to get you in from the side, or not the top. The top's not working for me. The side or the bottom. You're ready? Okay. And I'm pretty. My name is. I did it from the side that time. So. Oh, here we go. Okay. What's up, man?
What's good? Oh, my camera's turned around. There we
Okay.
go.
So I've been like on and off attracted to your page for like the past like month now. I probably first DM'd you like about a month ago, like at this point. Um,
Cool.
it wasn't. It was. There were two videos that caught my eye, and it wasn't even about sales. It was more on life. Where you were writing on the boards, and you on the
Oh, those
chalkboard.
videos.
Okay.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
ones did really well.
Yeah. So tell me, kind of like, but were you always in sales? How did you start this journey? Just tell everybody who you are. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut up for a minute.
Yep. My name's Caleb Vaughn Bank. For the past over 2 years now, I've been in sales. But just in the past like year and a half, I have really been in sales. I feel like a lot of people say they're in sales but aren't really in sales. You know what I mean? They'll start like a Shopify store or like an e-commerce thing. They'll do a couple of cold calls, but they won't really know like the whole plethora of things that like this industry actually has to offer, right? Um, about 2 years ago, I invested in my first mentorship program. It was with this guy who's closed over $20 million in sales through like timeshare, door to door,
I
a
heard of
bunch
the
of different
time frame.
ventures. And through him, I learned just how much this industry actually has to offer.
It's
Right?
crazy, right? It
I
really is crazy.
What's that?
I had no idea. Like when I first started, like I had no
Yeah,
idea. Yeah.
yeah. I learned about timeshare. Obviously, I learned about insurance, cold calling,
Hmm.
and then door to door was really my bread and butter. What I was really interested in the most is like knocking on people's doors and doing the hardest thing first.
That
Really.
is the hardest. Like for anyone
Yeah.
that's in sales, like just hearing that, like kind of like makes my chest shake a little bit. Like going door to door. I do calls. Like I sell advertising, so I'm calling different states and like small businesses, and that's more of like a numbers game. It's easier, but in front of the person's face, like, I'm sure. Now, how did it start for you? Like, for off rip, like first day.
First day with door to doors or sales or just
Well,
being.
did you get into door to door first? Was that the first type of sales that you got into?
No, the first type I got into is high ticket. Um,
Okay.
well, technically, the first type of sales I got into was cold calling because I was trying to build my own business back in 2022. It was a marketing agency, um, and I was cold calling businesses to try to sign them up, but I had no
Hmm.
idea what I was doing. I was basically just calling people and asking them if they wanted marketing,
Yeah. Hmm.
which which it worked eventually, right? Eventually, there was like one or two people who were willing to give me a shot. But what it ended up happening is I wasn't really prepared to fulfill on those clients at the moment because I had no idea what I was doing, right?
Yeah. So they
So
kind of threw you in there and just said, like, go ahead, go for it. And
yeah,
okay.
yeah, go ahead, go for it. They paid me like $500 a month, and that was for a good 3 or 4 months. So I made like 2 grand off this one person. Um, but I ended up really screwing that guy over because I didn't know what I was actually doing for his company, right? Um, but we stayed in contact, and I eventually hooked him up with someone who did know what he was doing and paid for all that for him. So it's not like I was scamming the dude.
Yeah.
I did have his best interest in mind at the end of the day. It's just I wasn't experienced enough to actually be able to help him, and
No, I
even
totally get it.
though even
Yeah.
though I was like going out there and still trying to get clients anyway. Nowadays, I actually do have the experience, and I found that I want to do door to door because it's the most difficult thing in sales to do, and if I can master this, I can master anything.
And door to door when you're scouting out neighborhoods, how does that work? Is it like is there like a math to that? Like like they don't have certain contracts with
Yeah,
like as far as
yeah,
areas.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's certain neighborhoods we just don't go to. It's usually due to like either the crime rates are really high there or the income's really low. We
Yeah.
obviously don't want to like knock on someone's door and get shot. And we don't want to like waste our time with people who are going to cancel on us. Um, Knocking in poorer hoods is actually it works if you have like a one time payment service, but if client retention is something that's really essential to the business model, you don't want to knock on poor hoods because they'll sign up, but they'll cancel like 2 months
Exactly.
later, and suddenly you'll be out like a ton of money.
Exactly. See, at first I was in sales like that, where it's just one and gone. But when you build a rapport, that money's there. You can
Yeah,
always get back to them, their friends. Um, Now, I couldn't even imagine, bro, door to door. I honestly couldn't, and I know that sounds crazy, and I do sales, but the door to door thing, um, I could imagine knocking on the door, the first person opens the door and just shuts it right in your face. So, like, what's the pitch? What's the opening pitch there?
yeah, yeah. Your initial, the most important part of door-to-door sales, as far as like the pitch goes, is your initial approach. Because at the end of the day, you are like basically jump scaring these people, disturbing them from their day. They have to answer their door. Most of them are like, if they do answer, are like hidden behind their door, like, what do you want? So you want to
Yeah,
be able to be the type of person that can very quickly make friends.
like
And
disarm them. Hmm.
yeah, yeah. The easiest way to do that is just make yourself relatable as quickly as possible. Like for example, someone has like a little sports jersey on of like a team that you like for like football or basketball or something. Um, be like, oh, cool, yeah, go Yankees, go Cowboys, go whatever. Or conversely, if they have a team you don't like, you'd be like,
Yeah,
oh god, those guys suck. Which wouldn't be would be a pattern interrupt, right? Because
yeah,
now you're like in this fake beef that really isn't that deep. It's just there so that they can see that you're
yeah.
human, right?
Pattern interrupt. See, ever see that dude on here that does the curses everybody out, like swerve or
Yeah,
something?
I wouldn't recommend that. His turnover rates probably aren't great.
No, but
But that's good marketing, though. That's a really good way to get people's attention. Um,
yeah,
Sales is a lot more than just getting people's attention at the end of the
yeah.
day.
And we were talking a little bit about now, like tonality and like. So where did you learn this from? Like the guy that hired you ended up teaching you all this before you went door to door.
Yeah, yeah. So I learned it
Okay.
from Jorge Alfredo. He's a guy who's closed over $20 million in sales. He's been doing it for like 13 years, and he taught me the basic structure of business. There's marketing, which is about
Mhm.
attention. There's selling, which is all about keeping people emotionally involved. There's negotiating, which is communicating value. And then there is closing, which is getting to the money, right? What I learned more in depth about sales is from Joshua Anastasi. He works with Jeremy Miner, and he has his own sales team, door to door, called Spartan Sales, and they're just the coolest. I wouldn't. I mean, like if you're usually if a door to door company like drowns you in a bunch of like incentives and big ticket items, usually it's a big red flag. It's like, okay, why are they so desperate for sales reps that they're trying to keep me here? And it's usually they do that to help keep people on their team and recruit. And then you end up having to pay all that back in your back end. The fine print. Joshua's team is amazing. They don't make you pay any of that back, right? They'll like fly you out to Boise in this freaking penthouse and stay there for a weekend to learn like the basics of appointment setting. And then after that, we went to Phoenix and we had like a little blitz for a week doing pest control in Phoenix, Arizona. We stayed in this really, really awesome Airbnb. And I met this cool guy named Gabriel, who does like Airbnbs and stuff like that for a living. And then there's the summer, right? They flew us out to Sacramento, all expenses paid. The only thing we had to pay for is rent, and that came out of our initials. So basically, until rent is paid off, they take like 50% of your initials. So usually it's like you get $75.
Like a draw basically. Like they'll take it, but when you make it, you have to give it back. So like, okay.
Yeah. So usually like regardless of the contract value, because the lowest our contract value goes is like $590. So regardless of the contract value, you get a $75 $75 initial like upfront payment. But if you still owe rent for that month, then they cut that in half. And then if you get sent home early, either because like you didn't uphold their standards or you didn't hit production standards, they don't make you pay any of that back, which is completely unheard of in like door-to-door sales teams. Usually they're sticklers about making you pay everything back.
Yeah.
But Josh is really, really grateful that it was the first job I worked in, because the opportunities like this just don't exist in door-to-door.
Yeah. So I started. I guess it kind of maybe the way it was correlating to me on your page, I was seeing how you were going from the sales journey kind of into your life journey.
Yeah.
And how that was playing a role with each other, how, like I was saying, you were trying to be better and better every day, not just at sales, but at things you were learning, things in life. Like, where was this? Is this coming from the discipline of sales? Is this coming from something else? Is one fueling the other?
Yeah. So the cool thing about sales is, unlike an hourly job, it actually pushes you to become the best version of yourself you can possibly be, because unless there's like base pay, but in my case it was 100% commission. So my back was against the wall. It was either I performed or I didn't make money, right? So and that type of pressure to become a better person, because your livelihood literally depends on you being a better communicator, kind of forces you to look at, once you start growing in sales, I mean, fucking everything is sales. So you start growing in other aspects of your life and just seeing how much you're capable of that you didn't see before. So it's helped me out with my relationships, with my wife, with friends, with family. It's really impacted my life in a positive way,
See, with me, I took sociology, and that plays a big role into sales now, of just who I'm speaking to. Like I could, their personality type. I notice if I make them laugh one time, I close them every time. They just have to laugh. It's very, very, very interesting. And also like slump wise, like if I'm in a slump for a week, say, I'll talk myself into thinking you're never getting a sale again, even though I've been doing this for 10 years. I'll talk myself into thinking that. And
Right.
then I'll break that, get the sale, and the next person I talk to, I close. So
Yeah.
it's something in your voice and you know the way you're thinking and your confidence, and I think that's one of the hardest things for me to have to be in that right state of mind,
Mm.
you know, throughout the day, every day. Um, that and organizing a day. So, what percentage? Like, is it you by yourself that goes door to door?
Yeah, I'm pretty independent. And with Sparta, I had a team of guys. We obviously didn't like shadow each other, right? So we'd have our own little hoods. But every during lunch, every single day, we would like find a place to eat, talk, train together. And in the mornings, we also had like meetings where we would train, go over the script, and do all that. And then also on Saturdays, we'd like have like a little team event. So I'd say it helps having a team, having a culture of
For
people who
sure.
are all driven to becoming the best version of themselves, just like you are.
For sure, yeah, because yeah, absolutely. And I could say, like at with my job, it's not like that. Majority of the time, I work at home, so I have to do it to myself. I have to get myself in that state of mind, whether that's walking, whether that's praying, whether it's working out, all plays into that state of mind, like throughout the
Yeah,
day. Um, were you before doing this? Were you what kind of personality type were you? Like shy?
dude, I was super introverted, super shy,
Me
a
too.
really angry person too.
Okay,
Like
me
just
too.
horrible control over my own emotions.
Me too.
And I was one of those types of people who like didn't couldn't take rejection either.
Me
I
too.
didn't I
Yeah.
didn't like I didn't like getting told no.
Yeah.
Um, and that's something I really had to learn and overcome, and something that learning and overcoming it through sales actually very positively impacted other areas of my life as well. It's like just learning that when someone says no, they aren't saying no to you, they're saying no to your offer, right?
Yeah, to the offer. Hmm.
It was really huge for me to learn. Um, because you can apply it to anything. It's like,
Oh yeah, yeah. No, so you're going in there. You're essentially selling them like a monthly contract for to
Mhm.
come in. Okay,
Yep.
so is it 60/40? You go during the day, right? Is it like 9 to 5 usually, like the hours, or is it nighttime?
Yeah. So
Mhm.
we would work from 11 in the morning um, until 9 o'clock at night. So it's like
Those
10
are cool.
hours, but then we'd have like an hour and a half for lunch. So it's more like 8.5 hours.
And
Um, and you can skip lunch if you want to. You can work until like 10 p.m. I
yeah,
wouldn't, you know.
so you're an independent contractor, like with
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. As a 1099 employee.
mhm. How was your first day? What was your first day like doing it?
First day, my hope was like through the roof.
Yeah?
I was at what's called on the growth curve, idiot's peak, right? It's like
Mhm.
I was like, dude, all I gotta do is knock on doors, get told no a bunch of times, and then someone will say yes, and I'll make money, and then I do that every single day. Let's go, let's get it. I got my teeth kicked in because I had no idea what I was getting into.
Mhm. I'm sure you
um,
then start seeing like repetitive things over and over from
yeah,
people. And okay.
Yeah, and Josh did a really good job at like training us as well, like teaching us how to like overcome objections, how to like deflect and plow smoke screens, things like that. Um, so it's not like I just rushed out there and wasn't prepared. It
Hmm.
was just a lot of like trying to memorize the pitch and kind of sounding like a robot because of it. But
Yeah.
also at the same time, because I was so new to it, having like stupid amounts of confidence and hope that I'll close a deal anyway.
You
And
kind
I
of
did.
have to, right? Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to have that. Um, what is the worst thing that's happened to you?
I got a gun pulled on me,
Whoa,
aimed at my chest.
jeez.
That's
And
probably
you,
the worst thing. It was really weird too. I mean, it was late at night, so like I can't really
mm,
hate the guy for it. But it was weird how it happened because we had a full conversation. He was with a certain pest control company already, so I was hitting him with the switchover pitch,
hmm
trying to like differentiate between the value we can add to him. Um, and I was like, hey, does the price make sense? Like if that's an issue, we can talk
hmm
about that. He's like, no, price is fine. Okay, cool. So you see the value, you see the value in what we're doing as well, right? It's like, yeah, yeah, totally. So if the price is right and the value makes sense, I mean, do you believe in everything that I'm telling you? Because if it's me, I'll kick rocks. He's like, no, you're cool. Okay, cool. So what's holding you back? I just don't want to switch. All right. I went to shake his hand like, as I do, and like
hmm
I'm about to leave. Just like, all right, have a good night, man. He pulls out his gun. He's like, I wouldn't shake my hand if I were you, and aims it at my chest. And I was like, oh,
That's
I'm,
weird.
I'm just telling pest control, bro. It's
Jeez.
got that deep.
Yeah, that's just weird. But
He was looking for a reason.
yeah.
He wasn't gonna shoot me though. He was just looking for a reason to act tough.
hmm
Um,
Um, now,
That's
what
another cool
is?
thing about sales. It's like you get to know people, understand people a lot better.
Oh yeah, for sure. All different types of personalities, all different type. Like yeah, you get to. It's that's what I like about it. That's what I like about doing this too. Just talking to different people, learning about people.
Yeah,
Um, and there's patterns repeat. I learned that like when my friend first got tried to get me into sales, I'm like, who's going to give me a credit card over the phone? Like, who would do that? And the
right.
first day I got like three over the phone. I was like, whoa,
Let's
like
go.
okay.
You closed
um
3 deals your first day.
yeah, and
That's fire.
it was, and I was reading a script, but like I would read the script and I would do the tonality thing without knowing the tonality thing, just like, matching
Yeah,
them on how they were speaking. And then I learned more about it. Now I told you I'm not pushy at the end. That's where I think I need to step up, and I would make probably an extra 1 to 2 grand a week on
yeah,
that, with just closing it like. So what's the best size for you with it? Well, it's pricing
yeah,
aside, what's the best size? What size would you like to go with? Instead
yeah,
of saying, I was reaching out just to the project and see if it's something that you're more interested in, something
yeah,
that you're interested in.
yeah.
So
Once like buying temperature is high, they want to do it. Um, or at least that there's some kind of pain there. That's the point where like psychologically they're just waiting for you to take over the conversation. So by doing like a softer close at the end, they're just gonna stall out and still
you're
be
giving
kind
no
of
way
the same
out.
thing with pest control. Really, like if someone tells me, I've been seeing ants here and there, and then I go run them through like I build the pain up. I'm like, oh, how long you been seeing them for? Where you been seeing them at? What's that been doing to you and your family, et cetera, et cetera. And then I'm like, want to give us a shot instead of all right. What's a good last name for you? Like we're signing this up with something
Right into the
closing.
paperwork. Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna stall
Okay.
out. They're gonna be like, I need to think about it. I still need to talk to the husband. Blah 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 blah. It's like, no, you gotta let them know. Okay, you've showed me your pain. I've showed you a solution. We're doing this.
And do you get that a lot? Like, oh, I need to talk to my husband. I need to talk to my wife. I need to.
Oh
Is that
yeah.
one of the most
No,
common?
everyone. I mean, like as a man who like likes to loop my wife in on decisions. Um, well, not every decision even, because like a lot of these guys. What 9 times out of 10, what people will do is they'll use their wives or their husbands as like a scapegoat,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah.
So you almost want to treat it like a smokescreen at first. It's like, yeah, totally. I would definitely want you both to be on board. And then like if it's early on, they haven't even heard the service yet, I would deflect and plow. I'd just be like, yep, I would definitely want you both to be on board. Here's what we're doing. And then they bring it up again. I would still treat it somewhat like a smokescreen. Um, but I kind of play into because they're using their wife or their husband as an excuse to kind of be nice so that they don't have to give you their real objection, right?
Yeah.
So you kind
Mhm.
of pull it out of them by saying this. You're just like, yeah, totally. And just that I would definitely want you both to be on board. Is there anything about our service, your husband wouldn't like, or do you think he would be on board? And then they'll be like, no, he'll be on board. In that case, yeah, it's just another smokescreen. And I'd
Yeah.
go into, cool, what do you think he would like? A, B, C, X, Y, Z, nail down on that, hard close, right? And then, but if they're like, no, he wouldn't like this, he wouldn't like that, now you've found the real objection. It's not
Mhm.
that he wouldn't like that, it's that you wouldn't like that. Yeah, obviously you don't want to say that to them, but that's
Yeah.
what you'll be thinking in the back of your mind. It's like, okay, cool. So if like say they're like, yeah, he just wouldn't like the price. Okay. Well, I mean, I tell you what, like husbands, they love saving money, right? So what I can do for you here, I'm actually, now that you bring it up, I actually am saving a lot on overhead by grouping you in with the neighbors here. What I'll do for you, just because it costs a lot less to drive 10 feet versus 10 miles, I can drop the initial down by like $50. Would that work for you? Boom.
Okay. And so you're closing the entire deal, like stop to finish by yourself at the house, or is there
Yeah.
like after that more they need to fill out, or it's done?
Yeah.
You finish that whole thing. Okay. What
Yeah,
was
so
your?
with our technicians, like we actually like that isn't bullshit. We actually do save a lot on money by grouping it, putting everyone on one route, right? And the way we organize our routes is we're in a different neighborhood every single week. So every single week we get assigned new hood because it matches up with our technicians, so that they can efficiently like move their trucks to certain areas. So I tell people, and I'm really upfront with people like that. Like, if it's Monday and they're like, "Hey, I need to think about it," I'll obviously treat it like a smoke screen at first. And I'll be like, "Oh, what is it exactly you need to think about?" Get to the objection. But if they're one of those people who like actually really want to do their research,
Yeah.
I'll be like, "Yeah." And at the end of the day, man, I mean, like, I'm not the now or never type of guy. You can always call us
Mhm.
up later. We'd be happy to earn your business. I've also been doing this long enough to know that if it doesn't get done while I'm here, it usually doesn't get done. Not because you don't want it or you don't see the value. I can tell that you do, but mainly because pest control isn't always on the top of the priority list, right? You're a busy guy. I'm a busy guy. Stuff gets pushed off, and eventually these ants become a much bigger problem than they need to be. But I tell you what, I actually will be in the area until about Friday. It's cool if I swing back around this house around Wednesday and check in with you once you had some time to like do your research or think it over. Would that work for you?
You
And then
ever?
like I would set a call back. That's only if buying temperature is like really high.
Mhm.
If they're giving me that BS like really early on, I fade. I'm just like, have a
Yeah.
nice day.
Do you ever need like a second voice to come in there and close it up for you?
What's that?
Do you ever need like a second voice to come in?
No.
No.
Um, we don't. We just don't do that. Um, because it's my hood for that week. So if I were to get someone else in, now we have to think about like how are we dividing up the paycheck? Whose
Uh,
account is it going to go under, right? Because we have certain accounts that we have to like put our clients under just in case they have any like questions or concerns. The salesman would deal with those questions and concerns, or the technician,
yeah.
depending on what the concern is. But no, I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't. Unless unless I was shadowing a manager and they were like doing like a training thing where they were shadowing the reps. In that case, you might have like a manager come back and close them out later on. But no, we do. Other than that, like really specific scenario, we do 100% of the closing.
That's impressive. So you have to know everything. You have to know everything about it.
Yeah.
Um, what is the so how long have you been doing this now? The door to door.
Yep, I've been doing it since February. Actually, in February, I was out in Boise. I was doing I was doing appointment setting for lighting, so it was slightly different. I was still as part of sales, but what Josh was doing is he was letting one of his buddies borrow his sales team for his lighting company. So I was actually doing like lighting, which it was kind of weird, right? Because like I signed up for pest control, and now I'm appointment setting for this lighting business that I have no idea about.
Yeah.
So that was like the first couple days that I was doing door to door. After that, we went out to Phoenix, and we were doing door to door for Hawks Pest Control, and that was in March. So yeah, I've
That's
been doing
awesome.
this
You get
since
to
the beginning
travel.
of March.
That's awesome. You get to travel with it.
Yeah, Phoenix is really cool. I can definitely see myself living there someday.
So only February. So with that, you don't have to say a number. What's the best week you've had?
Best week I've had. Yeah, it was June 1st, and it's because my company had put production standards in place for the whole team. Basically, the standard was either put 5 deals on the table this week, or put 10 deals on the table in the next 2 weeks, or else you get sent home. And I
Whoa.
was like, "Fuck no, I'm not about to get sent home." So I put 6 deals on the table, which was about close to like 6 grand. Yeah, because my average contract value was like 990 something bucks. So it was like 5 or 6 grand that I put on the table in 1 week.
Which is good money.
And that felt pretty good. But then right afterwards, they were just like, "Hey, just kidding. We aren't doing the production standard anymore." Which I get it, because like had they like stayed true to their commitment, um, like 90% of our team would have been sent home, which I was excited for. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, most of our guys are getting sent home, but like the 2 or 3 other dudes that are going to be on the team with me are people who want it. People who
Yeah.
are just as hungry as I am, you know?
See, that's how it is where I'm at. It's like you have the majority of people, like they treat it like it's an hourly job. They'll go in, play solitaire, and it's like, dude, what are you doing, bro? Like you don't get
Right.
paid like for that, you know? So like I try to put as much as I can in, and just like I'm a little over obsessive too with everything I do. So it's like,
Good.
you know, but yeah, man, the door to door thing is something. Even hearing it, it's just like a like that, you know. It's like I don't know about that. I don't know about that. And you go, are
No,
you
that's totally
to
understandable.
like? Yeah, I'll try anything, but like, are you dressing like in a suit or just like normal going over there? Like,
Yeah, yeah. So we just
yeah,
dress in like our standard knocking gear. We wear like the company label, like usually like on our chest right here or in the middle sometimes. And that uniform also has like an American flag too, which is really good with like the really patriot types that you run
yeah,
into with these homeowners. Um, Other than that, and we won't. There isn't like a standard dress code. You can wear anything. Jeremy Miner recommends wearing like construction gear and stuff like that to like up your authority.
yeah.
But like you look at like the top sales reps in door to door, and none of them do that. So
Mhm.
it doesn't really matter what you wear all that much.
So how did this job, or did it start before? Um, did the job start playing a role in your life and kind of like organizing that in some way, or was it before that? Like the life came before that? Because in the videos, like the ones with the chalkboard and all that, like where was all that coming from? Was that before or after the sales, or
Yeah,
during?
that was while I was still doing online sales, and I was kind of trying to figure out what exactly I wanted to do online, because I do want to like build my own business, and something with info also, because I feel like that would be a really good avenue for me, just like educating people, helping them with what I really I think what I really landed on was helping people with like relationships advice and marital counseling and stuff like that. Um, because you see a lot of that on like Instagram reels,
Oh yeah.
anyways. Um, so there's clearly like a high demand for it. And with everything that I've learned and how much it's improved my own relationships and kind of mended the wounds in my own marriage, I feel like there's a lot of value I can give to people in that regard.
That's actually what I'm taking right now. I study sociology, and I'm a semester away from getting my LCSW, and I need the hours. But same idea. I've been through a lot of it too, so it's like, I feel like it's now is a time in the world, just what we see online, where a lot of people do need help. They need that reinforcement. They need to know that they can do it, no matter what door to door sales. Never thought I could do it, but and there's a lot of information out there where it's free. You can get it. Like, you can get it if you actually take the time.
Yeah.
Um, but
And
yeah. Mhm.
and there's like and then there's like a double-edged sword there because there is a lot of information out
Mhm.
there.
Oh yeah.
To the point where if all you're using is like a bunch of YouTube videos and Instagram reels, I mean you'll get a lot of really good advice, but none of it will be properly like structured in a way that you can use it. You know what I mean? Um, because
Exactly.
if you're listening to like 100 people giving you like slightly different advices and points of views, it's going to be hard to like turn that into like a consistent structure. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I think that's where the value in like info products really shines through is not necessarily the info itself, but the structure that info is put into. Like
This question.
understanding like you can understand a lot about marketing, sales, negotiation, and closing, but if you don't understand the structure like marketing, attention, sales, emotion, negotiation, value,
Yeah.
close, money, right? Having
Hmm.
that structure, which you only really get by like watching a course, I feel like it's a lot more valuable than like just doom scrolling through a bunch of YouTube
Oh
videos.
yeah. Yeah. Definitely not doom scrolling. But yeah,
Right.
no. Is that as that seems pretty steady for you, like the 6 grand, or at least around that, like around that area?
It's hard to say. I got sent home early.
So it's
So
ups and downs with it.
I
Um,
see no. I mean, if I did it one week, I'd see no reason why I can't do it the
no,
next
yeah,
week.
absolutely, yeah.
Because
Hmm.
what really did it for me was the pressure, right? And I had so much confidence and so much trust in the company I was working for. When they went back on their commitment and said, "Hey, just kidding, we're not sending anyone home," and like even tried to like cover it up instead of like taking accountability, being like, "Oh, the reason why is because we just wanted to motivate you." No, dude, the reason why is because if you had actually followed through on that, 90% of your team would be gone. Like, I'm not stupid. And
Hmm.
like that kind of like
Yeah,
shadiness and distrust, I didn't. I mean, if you're not certain in what you're selling, you have to be certain in your
you have
company.
to be,
Like,
yeah, because
yeah,
there's a lot of schemes out there. There's a lot of, yeah, for sure.
yeah. So it's like if they're going to be dishonest with me, like, who am I to? How am I supposed to know they're not going to be dishonest with the people that I'm selling
Yeah,
that I'm sending them over to them? You know, so
absolutely.
that really hurt my certainty. And when your certainty is gone, that's it. You're not going to be able to sell if you're not certain.
That's the
Um,
story right there. Yeah,
so like I went the next 2 weeks and only threw one deal on the board because I just wasn't sure anymore. You know,
yeah. Hmm.
um, I'll probably end up going back to Hawks next year because like they are always doing a little bit better, and I respect that about them. Obviously, no company's perfect. I just think their approach and like communicating to their team that they aren't doing that the production standard anymore was kind of shady. So
See, yeah, my whole family, like, they're like, you're crazy. You need a job that you know you're gonna make every week, and it's like I'm making more than like my sister who's a college graduate, my nephew who's a college graduate, and I work less than them. It's like, what is it? But I'm not gonna lie, it does. I still, even though doing it for all these years, I still get that stress on a Monday morning. You know, that like, I'm not going to get it this week. I
Yeah.
I told my friend on Friday, I said, please remind me every week that it always works out. But it's just like there is that stress there, for me at least. And I was always saying introverted. Never thought it would be. Never thought I'd be doing that as far as sales. But it's. I think I'm the second top salesman in the office at this point. And I accredited a lot to sociology, to learning different people's personalities and kind of like going with that on the phone. Um, Different industries that I learned the lingo with, you know. Um, but it's something I enjoy doing that like I can make my whole check in one day, like you know, your whole check in one day, and that's you know. But now, especially with the wage gap being what it is, and it's like that's your way right there, you know. Sales is your way to make that money and to create that. Do you think anyone could do sales?
Anyone. Anyone who can talk is capable of doing sales, but I think it takes a very specific type of person to want to do sales, and you gotta want it.
The
Like,
desperation, I think, plays a big role too. Like where you were saying, like how you needed it, you were backed into a corner at that point. Like
yeah,
I was the
and
same.
I wouldn't even say desperation because it's not like I was desperate. I wanted it, you know.
Yeah.
Because
Hmm.
if you get desperate,
Oh, they hear
people
that too.
smell that on
Yeah.
you, right?
Hmm.
Like, but no, it was just like, hey, I want to stay here. I wasn't even thinking about oh, what happens if I get sent home. I was thinking about like what happens when I fucking crush it this week. Oh, a bunch of other people get sent home, and suddenly I'm on a team with badasses. That's what was going through my mind.
I think that's what some one of the things that you wrote on the board was kind of referencing that in a way. So it was like thoughts, right? Like you can have the thought of oh, you know, I woke up late today. I'm in a shitty mood. Da, da, da. And halfway through the day, I feel like a piece of shit. I feel like
Mm.
everything's off, unorganized. Or you can go into a day like that and you'll attract that. You'll attract the sales. You'll attract
Yeah,
the, yeah, it's so true, man. And I know that and I tend to forget that like almost on a daily basis and I have to have people remind me and remind myself. Um, but it's 100% true.
yeah.
100% true.
And the cool thing about that is like, because a lot of people will be like, "Oh, I'm just having a bad day. I'm just having a bad like." They'll a lot of people, and I get where this comes from. They think they can't control whether or not it's a bad day. Absolutely, you can.
You
What that
can,
comes
yeah.
from is the first hour that you're awake, your brain is in theta state. So it's like in this hypnotic state where it's super susceptible to like every single tiny piece of information that comes into it. I've thought about like even setting my alarm to like radio stations that play like positive money affirmations and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that immediately when I wake up, I'm in the right headspace. Like there's not
Yeah.
going to be a single day that's a bad day, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No.
I feel like that's something absolutely you can control. Or maybe I'm just
You can
obsessed with
no, you can control it,
it.
man. I remember seeing a tweet a few years ago from Elon Musk, and he said, "It's a good day today if you want it to be," and
Yeah,
that's true. Like I can make the decision to get up and be an asshole, or make the decision to get up and be like, "I'm gonna make fucking $10,000 today. I'm gonna do it before I get home." It's
yeah,
like, and it fucking it you see it happen. It's like magic, but it's not. It's just what we're told every day. We're told in these reels. You know, it's just different. You know, what you attract, what you put out there is what you attract, basically. And with sales,
exactly,
that's a big thing. You,
exactly.
it's everything. You're selling yourself, basically.
Yeah,
Um,
100%. That first hour is so critical because your brain's in theta state, in that hypnotic state. I do like I meditate. I do affirmations in the morning. I'll read my Bible. I'll uh, I'll do like grounding work. I kind of do like this kind of crackhead type thing where I go to like the highest window in my home and then scream out the window. There's no amount of money that can pay me what I'm worth.
okay, yeah. Whatever works, dude. I have on my wall like different. Like I have $4.2 million written on my wall. I have all types of things that I look
Yeah,
up to.
yeah,
Yeah.
the vision board. Yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um, is this what you plan on doing? Like maybe not, door to door, but sales, like into later in life?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I see myself getting into real estate because that's like an area where you can like leverage your time a lot more. And it's more
Yeah.
like relationship sales than it is like cold approach like door to door is.
Yeah.
And I actually prefer that a lot more, especially since I started doing sales and high ticket DM setting where like relationships are the most important, right?
Hmm.
So it's like something I'm more used to is like building connections, building a network, and kind of finding problems in that network and solving them with your services, rather than like just banging on people's doors and being like, "Hey, the game last Friday was pretty cool, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. Here's pest control."
This is why I kind of want to go into like the personalized marketing for people, just to have that relationship. Show them their stats, show them what I can give them, show them like, because there's so many companies that are just charging outlandish amounts of money for things that unfortunately they can't do. But a lot of people I realize like, you know, there's really smart people in their industry, but not a lot of people know outside of it when it comes to AI, computers, and this rush that's going on right now with it. I've been seeing that, and there's an opening there. There's for sure an opening there. Um, so that's kind of I've been. There's a website called Alignable, and everyone, not everyone, most people I sell, they're on that website, and we connect to each other. And I've been advertising this personalized marketing whole like thing for them. Um, and so far, I've gotten two people. I've done it for about 3 weeks. I haven't really been pushing it that hard, but last night I made it for a friend. I made an extra $100, and I made an extra $300, and that'll all add up. That's
Yeah.
what I enjoy doing. Though I went to film school. I like making content. I like building people's social medias, websites, like just like the creative aspect of it, rather than more so than the sales. Um, like yeah, I'll do the sales, but I would love to do both. But yeah, I would like to have that more of a close relationship where I'm going to show you where you're going to be in 3 months, by doing this, by putting this amount into advertising, this amount to this, that, and let me show you I can make a difference to the small businesses all around that. A lot of them have been affected by COVID and, are in great shape now. The people that I sell, on businesses I sell. So yeah, man. Sometimes I hate it. Sometimes I love it. Most of the time I love it because I don't feel like I do a lot of work. You know, I could wake up late and go work California. So work
Yeah.
until 8 o'clock at night. It's just a flexible job. I hate working for a boss, like an actual boss. I feel like I rent a merchant account now at this point.
Yeah.
I have an awesome boss, by the way. Like, if we don't make it, he gives whatever anyone needs. He'll give them. Like, yeah, there'll be a draw, like a little out of timeout, but like I've never seen him say no to anyone when it came down to things. I have had bosses that didn't give a shit. I mean, you got a charge back that was coming off your check that week, like that really didn't care.
Yeah.
Um, and I have someone trying to get me to go work for them now that I did. I'm just like no. But yeah, man, it's not what I thought, but definitely something that just because I keep going back to the big like the fact that the wealth disparity is so much right now that's a way for to meet it in the middle, and no, not anyone can do it. I've seen people that can't do it. I've also seen people that were a little bit autistic that I mean I saw a dude made 21 grand in a week making call after call after call after call after call. um, Now, unfortunately, in that business, when you have people like that, there's a lot of addiction there too,
Mm.
because they'll want to be in the right state of mind, whether that means popping an Adderall, whether that means taking a Xanax, like so that happens a lot with a lot of the high sellers in there, you
Bean
know.
addictions too. I'm
Yeah,
I'm I don't know. There's a lot. I guess there's a lot of talk about whether or not caffeine is like good for you or not. I definitely take caffeine, so and
Yeah.
I feel fine. So
Yeah, I don't. I've never heard anything bad about caffeine. I heard 2, 3 cups of coffee is ideal, but like I usually have about 5 or 6. But yeah, I've never heard anything really bad about it. Um,
yeah, some people think it's not
yeah.
necessarily like the best source of it,
Well,
and
that's
it's not
cool.
because like at the end of the day, it's like it's an adenosine blocker, so it doesn't actually give you more energy. It just makes you think you're not tired.
Caffeine? Really?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So it's
so,
kind of
so
like, but that creates a placebo effect, which does give you energy. So
the placebo effect is crazy. When I first learned about that, like with the antidepressants, it was 50-50 antidepressants
Mm.
to the placebo. Half the people that were taking the placebo thought they were on the antidepressant. Half the people on the antidepressant thought they were on the placebo, and they still came out, and they're still giving them out now. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah, dude. Not just the sales thing videos, but a lot of the other videos on your page. I would advise people to go take a look at them because they're interesting.
thanks.
Really interesting, and it doesn't just connect to sales; it connects to life. It's kind of like when we talk about working out. Like working out, it connects to life as well. Like a good workout in the morning, I feel like I'm more level throughout the day. I can get through the day. If I can handle that, I can handle this. Like I never thought I could run 5 miles in my life. Once I did that, I'm like, whoa, what else can I do? You know, what
Yeah,
else can I do?
that's like the best feeling, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
like, huh, I can do this. I wonder how far I can go.
Yeah, and the answer I think is farther than we realize, a lot farther
Yeah,
than we realize. You know.
yeah, I love that. That's a vibe.
hmm But yeah, dude, I'm gonna post this. I'm gonna put it on a couple different sites. It was awesome talking to you. I definitely want to do it again, and we'll talk more about the sales and stuff like that too, because I'm sure you have some pointers for me. And what I'm in, I
Rock
don't want to
on,
chase
man.
you to the door,
Yeah,
but
check me out.
God bless
I'm
you.
Caleb Von Bank on Instagram. Soon to come to more platforms.
You don't have a YouTube? I see,
People keep telling me I need to get on YouTube. Which
dude.
yeah, it'd
I
be great
regret
for
it.
like more long form content, huh?
Yeah, I regret not doing it more from the beginning. I put a lot into Instagram, and I think I should have put a little bit more into YouTube than Instagram. But it is what it is. It's user friendly. I met a lot of good people. Whatever.
Nice.
But yeah, man, it was great meeting you, and we'll definitely talk again, bro.
Great meeting you too, man. Looking
All
forward
right,
to where
brother.
this goes.
hmm